Peace. All right, so we still dealing with part 3 of this video. Um, until I get everything together, I probably have chopped up videos like this, but nevertheless, I wanted to finish up going back over the reasoning part of this on this case, and it talked about, like you said, the free exercise. Congress shall have no law making or respect no law respecting an establishment religion. It said that the court held that the response of the laws was to suppress Santeria religion. The only conduct subject to the ordinances was animal sacrifice, the center element of Santeria worship services, and they were therefore not neutral. The court also held that the ordinances were not of general applicability, but selectively targeted the conduct motivated by religious belief. You hear that? The court also held that the ordinances were not of general applicability, but selectively targeted. And so that's another thing you got to realize as a religious right. If another religion is able to do it and you're not able to do it, then that's going to be an automatic violation. It's kind of like what's going on with COVID. If a church, let's say if a Islamic temple was told that they couldn't worship on their days of worship, that they couldn't come to the temple because of COVID, but then on Sundays they let a Christian church have service on Sundays, that would be a clear violation of law. That would be like a prejudice, like they said that it would be bias. Okay, so that when you see things like that, so always look for things like that. An example would be if they didn't allow you to use your religious affidavit of birth for your child, but they allow a Christian to bring their Bible in with their baby's birth in it, and they allow that. So that's a discrimination. So that would be illegal, and um, it could be going to court. Okay, now let's see. It says further, the court held that the local laws, which were not neutral or generally applied, were not narrowly tailored to a compelling governmental interest. The interests advanced by the city were protecting the public health and preventing animal cruelty. The court found, however, that the city failed to establish that these interests were compelling because the ordinances only restricted conduct by the church and Santeria religion and not other similar conduct that created the same type of harm. For example, the laws did not prohibit the private slaughter of animals for food or kosher butchering. Further, the court held that even if the interests were somehow compelling, they could be achieved by more narrowly tailored laws that burdened religion to a far lesser degree. Okay, so let's look. Like their example was the private slaughter of animals for kosher butchering. So, the Jews have established a certain particular way of life that's been tied back to ancient times, if you will, and because of that, they're able to use that um, that particular philosophy. They're able to use it to exempt themselves from certain law, and that's an example of how one religion may be looked at and a certain way and another one won't. And that's kind of like the discrimination that can be found between that. Okay, so um, just looking at let's see. I just wanted to see what else they had to say. Justice Scalia asserted that the focus should be on the effects of the law, not the intention of the lawmakers, because it is virtually impossible to determine the singular motive of a collection legislative body. Further, he contended that because the effects of law at issue was to single out, here we go again, to single out a religious practice for special burdens, the court need not look at the motivation in passing the law. Uh, Justice Sodar asserted that, in his opinion, a law that targets religion fails strict scrutiny. However, he noted that the courts did not address the more difficult solution of whether the free exercise clause is violated by a law of general applicability and incidentally burdens religious practices. So it's the fact. So the facts was the state of Wisconsin enacted a compulsory school attendance law which require all students to attend public and private schools until the age of 16. Petitioners of the Amish religion object to formal education beyond the eighth grade because it conflicts with the religious concepts central to their faith, takes adolescents away from the purposely closed Amish community during a crucial or formative period of their lives, and subjects them to influences in conflict with the Amish way of life. So, okay, so when we look at the rites of passage, the rites of passage is to be looked at in the same way that this right here, because if your rites of passage comes into conflict with maybe the popular culture way of life, then you have a right to stand on. You have a right because these things are established. These rites of passage are established for our use. Okay. Um, it asks that whether compulsory education law violated the free exercise, the free clause, and it says yes. So I'm not gonna get all into it, but you can read. I'm gonna leave this up for a second. But the fact that these people are using religious rites, if it's not the Amish or Jewish or Islamic or whoever, and whoever you part of, whatever religious thing you're part of. But as far as New Kimmy is concerned, we have it covered. You can be whatever religion you believe, but if you don't have anything, the fact that we stand on our religious right through our ancestral worship, our ancestral acknowledgement, and our rites of passage. And that's what is missing, okay? So that's really all for the videos. Now, if you want to, I'm gonna show you this is the this is the book that I compiled, put together, and wrote, and it deals a lot with what we just talked about in the video. So as far as you can see it, you can check it out on Amazon, um, and get yours today. But if not, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We will be having more informative videos coming at you very soon. Until then, peace.